Jake Paul, maybe?
Easy. Easy.
Too
easy.
It's too easy.
Too easy. Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Floyd Mayweather didn't mince words when he claimed that Jake Paul would be easy work for Gervonta Tank Davis. Fans immediately felt the tension rising. The thought of Tank stepping into the ring with Jake already paints a picture of raw power and precision on display. Adding fuel to the fire, Tank Davis spoke confidently about the potential matchup, saying, "Every time I fight, it's fireworks. I'm faster than him. He's stronger and bigger, but we all know taller fighters struggle against shorter ones." The message was clear. Davis sees no real danger in Jake's eyes or supposed strength. Instead, he believes his speed, timing, and sharpness would cut straight through the hype. For Tank, Jake's height isn't an advantage. It's a flaw waiting to be exposed under pressure. Fans can already imagine the tempo, the bursts of aggression, the frustration mounting for Paul, and the sense that this wouldn't be an even fight. It feels more like Davis slowly taking apart a puzzle, piece by piece. Just when it seemed he'd said enough, Tank painted an even darker picture of how things might unfold. His tone carried both confidence and quiet menace. He's decent. He'll last a few rounds, but once things heat up, you know how it goes. That statement hit harder than typical fight talk. It wasn't just bravado, it sounded like a promise. Tank acknowledged that Jake might survive the opening rounds, but every passing minute would only bring him closer to disaster. This is classic Davis energy: start calculated, finish violent, and leave nothing standing. For him, the ending isn't uncertain, only the countdown matters. His confidence didn't come off as arrogance. It felt like a warning carved in steel.
Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like, nobody. Like, I feel like my skills is way better than, like, Floyd. Like, if I'm on my game. Well, yeah, I take that back. Probably hand in hand. But skill-wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody. Like, talking about top to bottom list of fighters that's fighting.
After that bold statement, you can sense the cold precision behind Tank's words. He isn't just boasting. He's outlining his blueprint for victory. Picture the accuracy, the lightning-fast hands, and the crisp counters that end fights before they truly begin. This is the mentality of a fighter who knows exactly what tools he carries and how to use them. For both fans and opponents, that kind of self-belief is dangerous. It transforms confidence into a tangible threat. The tension thickens. Every technical word he speaks feels like a prelude to something violent, something inevitable. Then Tank shifted gears from fighter to legacy builder. He wasn't talking about titles or rankings anymore. His tone reflected someone already aware of his place in boxing history. A man focused less on collecting belts and more on carving his name into the sport itself.
A lot of people don't understand that when I say, like I feel like I'm a legend already just off of like where I come from and what I had to go through to get here. I feel like, yeah, like, I'm just, I just like, if they was to put me like in a, like what do you say, what's the shit they be saying, like, Hall of Fame? Yeah. I feel as though that's cool, but I feel as though, like, I'm already, like, you know?
Yeah,
I'm already
don't need
solidified type shit.
That tone makes everything feel heavier, like he's already circled the date in his mind. This isn't just about stacking wins. It's about how history will remember him. When a fighter starts talking legacy, the stakes rise for everyone else. The audience begins to sense the weight of the moment, as if they're witnessing the next chapter of boxing history unfold in real time. With every word, expectations grow, and so does the pressure on whoever dares to face him. The energy shifts from simple trash talk to something more profound. Destiny. Tank made it clear he's not playing ego games. He's all business, focused purely on results. And in true champion fashion, he left the door open for any matchup that makes sense. No hesitation, no fear, just readiness.
I was never big on, like, saying, like, I'll fight him. I mean, or just going out and, like, calling someone out. But if, like, promoters, like, our promoters, like, have conversation and like they bring it to me, for sure I'm not turning it down. You know, so I will fight whoever type shit that's in my weight class. Like even if they're a little higher, I'll fight them at a catch weight.
I mean, if I really wanted to, I could. But honestly, I've got nothing to prove. When you look at my fights and then compare them to these other guys, you can clearly see the difference. At the end of the day, it's not about proving myself. It's about quieting the noise. Sometimes you just want to shut people up and remind them who's really built for this. But personally, I don't feel like I need to prove anything to anyone. If someone wants to test it, then step up. Simple as that.
If I wanted to, I mean, not me personally. I really don't have nothing to prove to, cause these, if you look at my fights and then you look back at these guys, you be like, all right, I can see the difference. But it's all about actually shutting people up, or that's really what it is, type shit. Okay, let me just. But I don't, me personally, I don't think I have to prove nothing to nobody. Yeah. Until niggas step up and be like, all right, cool.
That observation shifts the story from spectacle to substance, where fans often cheer for personalities more than skill. And that's where underestimations happen. Those moments are exactly what seasoned fighters exploit. It transforms a matchup into a mismatch, not in size or fame, but in experience and preparation. For Jake Paul, that's a dangerous equation. Crowd support doesn't block punches. The suspense builds because home crowd energy can fade the moment real boxing takes over. The ending no longer feels uncertain, it feels inevitable. Floyd Mayweather has already made his stance clear. He sees Jake Paul more as a businessman than a true fighter. That perspective casts the potential Tank Davis matchup in a different light, one that exposes the fine line between entertainment and elite competition.
The thing with the fans, it's not really fans it's not fans that really understand the sport.
It's casual
You know
fans.
what I'm saying? Yeah, they don't really understand the sport. They just, okay, I like this person, so I'm gonna go against this fighter, or I'm gonna go against every other fighter, but this fighter right here. That's what, But if you just go look at nigga their fights, bro, you could tell it's not even though it's a waste. Till y'all prove yourself to, you feel me? That's what, to me, till niggas start proving that stuff, all right, bet he's a threat, then all right, cool, I'll fight him. But other than that, ain't.
Mayweather's jab at Jake Paul reframes the narrative. This isn't just a fight. It's a clash of skill versus spectacle. Against Gervonta, Tank Davis, money and viral moments won't win rounds. Davis brings real speed, timing, and knockout power, the kind that exposes flaws in an instant. That if this turns into a pure boxing contest, Paul's carefully built image could start to crumble. Fans will be watching for that exact moment when showmanship collides with genuine talent. The build-up just got far more dangerous for Jake. Mayweather didn't hold back in his assessment, making it clear that Paul's recent victories don't prove much. Those wins came against entertainers and mixed-rules opponents, not world-class boxers. That truth raises the stakes for any potential showdown with Tank Davis, turning hype into a real test of skill and survival.
Paul got problems right here, So, he's doing good. He's doing good for what he's doing, Like I said, for what he's doing. It is what it is. It's just a lot of talk. It's different when you're at the highest level.
Now, the spotlight shifts from clicks to cold, hard boxing against a seasoned pro like Tank Davis. Tricks and hype won't hide mistakes here. Every wild swing, missed guard, or slow reaction will be punished. The tension will rise as the matchup moves from spectacle to a true test of skill. Promoters and fans alike will be watching closely. This could be the moment Jake Paul either evolves or gets exposed. What began as a social media storyline has turned into a high-stakes proving ground. Floyd Mayweather closed his remarks with a tone that left no room for doubt. His blunt verdict turned the Jake Paul versus Tank Davis talk into a must-watch moment. Those words cut through the noise and raised the pressure on Paul. Suddenly, this isn't another internet stunt, it's a real measuring stick. Now, the challenge is bigger than headlines. Promoters feel the heat to make the right move, and Paul needs more than followers. He needs a strategy. When that bell rings, The air in the arena will crackle with expectation. Everything will hinge on whether Paul can transform spectacle into survival. Meanwhile, Paulie Malignaggi weighed in with skepticism, calling the whole matchup strange and suggesting the build-up feels manufactured, stars being built by headlines, not earned through the ring.
Look on the internet. I think he was doing a sit down on a podcast one time, and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition against Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
He said, I'm only doing real fights. And of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at. But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Is he, and Floyd, there are many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever, period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents? Or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter that can really fight, it's not going to be good.
That idea turns the fight into something bigger than two men trading punches. It becomes a business experiment. When fame is manufactured, the real question isn't about popularity, but about who can truly fight. The crowd might cheer for a name, but boxing has a way of cutting through the noise fast, that if the spectacle is more public relations than proof, the first real opponent will expose it. The suspense now revolves around substance. Can the show survive once the punches get serious? The tension thickens because manufactured stars often collapse under real pressure. Paulie Malignaggi pushed that narrative further, questioning the quality of the wins behind the hype. He implied that some of the so-called big names on paper aren't as strong in reality. That line of thought adds a fragile edge to the matchup, like a spotlight waiting to reveal what's real and what's performing.
And real weird, bro, I'll tell you. Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, however you want to call it. Didn't really see this one coming. I know a lot of people were talking about it. There was the rumor mill. I don't know if you guys at home had heard the rumor mill. This had been being talked about even prior to the Lamont Roach fight. I thought it was so utterly ridiculous, especially that you've essentially manufactured Gervonta into a star without really having him fight any major threats in his career, you know?
When a resume looks impressive but hides soft spots, the matchup stops being exciting and starts becoming risky. For credibility, not just competition. Critics will dissect every past fight, replaying moments and questioning the quality of those wins. For Jake Paul and his team, that kind of scrutiny is dangerous. It strips away the mystique and exposes raw skill for what it truly is. Promoters feel that same pressure when the gap between real ability and public image starts to show. The build-up shifts from spectacle to investigation. Fans no longer watch for entertainment. They're watching to see if the record can survive a real test. Paulie Malignaggi added more doubt, highlighting the significant size difference and reminding everyone that this matchup is technically an exhibition with unclear rules. That detail makes the whole event feel less like pure sport and more like a stage production, blurring the line between competition and show business.
The groupies are gonna say somebody like saying, well, if Leo Santa Cruz is the biggest name on your resume, you got a problem. Like Santa Cruz was probably dying shot by the time he fought Gervonta Davis. Santa Cruz, who 90% of his own resume was against guys you never heard of. And again, it was a one-directional fighter who started at bantamweight and they fought at 130. That's your best win. Pedraza's a solid win, I thought, even though it was a weight-drained Pedraza, and Pedraza was so weight-drained that he'd actually already lost to Edna Cherry and should have already not been champion by the time Gervonta fought him, but they robbed Edna Cherry in that IBF title defense of Jose Pedraza, so that Pedraza remained champion. I remember because I worked that show and commentated that fight. So It's a sneaky good win, but it's sort of below the radar, not that good of a win. He had to weight drain Pedraza, Pedraza who went up to lightweight and actually fought better once he didn't have to weight drain himself, and who had been struggling already at 130 prior to being knocked out by Davis. Like I said, he'd already lost to Cherry and was lucky to keep the title in the Cherry fight at 130. So Cherry, mind you, a guy that I beat.
When factors like size, glove weight, and ring rules start to matter, the contest turns into a chess match of conditions rather than pure skill. Those details can protect a big name or backfire completely if the opponent adjusts faster. For Jake Paul, comfort and carefully managed wins could become a trap the moment he faces a seasoned professional who knows how to exploit every opening. The uncertainty around the rules adds another layer of tension. Will the setup favor flash or real boxing fundamentals? Every choice now feels like a lever that could tip the entire fight in one direction. The suspense builds because a single decision could redefine everything once the bell rings. Paulie Malignaggi raised an intriguing point, questioning whether Gervonta Davis's mental toughness has ever been fully tested. He suggested that only tougher, more unpredictable matchups reveal a fighter's true depth. That perspective shifts the narrative again. This fight isn't just about strength. It's about nerve, composure, and what happens when the lights burn hottest.
Jake Paul is huge. I mean, this is like, he's going to be almost a foot bigger than Gervonta Davis. This is an exhibition, so there's not going to be an official winner unless it's a stoppage. So things like glove size, ring size still has to be dictated and figured out. I don't know. I don't know what you do with this. I don't know what boxing's coming to. This is what happens when you manufacture a star instead of letting stars organically create themselves. You get guys who don't want to test themselves, who've been spoiled and have been able to, make a lot of free money for no reason.
Mental cracks don't always show in obvious ways. They reveal themselves in hesitation, in shrinking from pressure, or in breaking down when the heat rises. If Gervonta Davis hasn't been fully battle-tested mentally, a high-profile clash like this could push him to the brink. For Jake Paul, that presents either an opening to exploit or a nightmare waiting to unfold if he encounters a level of intensity he's never faced before. The fight then stops being highlight reel and turns into a psychological war. Fans will start reading body language as closely as they watch the punches. The drama peaks because mental collapse happens fast and can flip a fight in seconds. Paulie Malignaggi also pointed out the imbalance in power and the divided fanbase. The bout will sell regardless, but that doesn't answer the only question that matters: who actually wins once the gloves start talking? That uncertainty turns this matchup into a live experiment, a question mark waiting to be answered under the lights.
Dynamic power that Gervonta holds, and that may be something that maybe is an equalizer as far as the promotability. Sure, knockouts always sell, but it's just I don't know, man. It's a big question mark for me. The funny thing is, there's gonna be a lot of people watching this fight. Jake always generates a lot of fans. I mean, his own fans. They're not boxing fans. I don't think they ever watch boxing aside from Jake. And then Gervonta does have at this point an inner fan base himself. He's been promoted so much that, yeah, of course, how does your fan base not grow when you've been promoted constantly and marketed constantly, so that you create this fan base?